Hey, what's going on, guys? Dalton back here with a hopefully final video on the Secret Lair. This is just the highlight reel, what it's all about. Finally, all the information about the Secret Lair is out. They released it all throughout yesterday, so I wanted to go over everything that was released in yesterday's announcements. So basically, this was like the worst image of them all because it was only from the Magic the Gathering Twitter. So sorry about the awful image quality. But this is the Secret Lair bundle that I talked about in my video yesterday. It comes with all seven, there's some number of there should be, I think, six different drops. And so this will come with all of them. I believe this is $129.99. So it'll come with one of every of the cards, one of every one of the promo cards, if that makes sense. And then you'll also get all of those cards, one copy of those cards on Magic Online, and along with on Arena, you'll get some cool sleeves. And for Magic Online, if there are tokens, which there are tokens, apparently you get an avatar. Avatar for those. It wasn't really clear if you get an avatar for each one of those tokens, or if you kind of just get one of them comes as an avatar. It wasn't exactly clear on that. So the first one is Bitter Blossom Dreams, dropping December 3rd. I believe this one is one of the more expensive ones. I could be wrong, it might be $30. It's either $30 or $40. Basically, this one just comes with Bitter Blossom and 4 fairy tokens. Here's a nice close-up picture of the Bitter Blossom. Super cool art and full art, which is nice. I believe this is not foil. I don't think any of them are foil except for there's one of them I'll get to in a second. Here's the first Fairy Rogue art. So like again, there's 4 different token arts, but I'm imagining on MTGO you're only getting an avatar for one of them, but maybe we'll get all 4. And also notice that this is where the image was from the spoilers that I talked about. And this is how we found out it was a fairy, was from an image that was just about cut like right here. So this is what we thought to be some sort of like fairy blade or like staff of a blade. And we recognize these being the legs and the knees of a fairy. So boom, we got that prediction correct. Fairy number 2 is this one right here. I'm not sure again which one of these will be the avatar. If like you might get all of them, who knows. Fairy number 3, and if you guys want to look at these images more carefully, pause the video. It's not that difficult. And then fairy number 4. So it comes with 4 fairy tokens, which is pretty cool. I think you really only need 3, but 4 works for me. And what's next? So then there's Drain Wonderland. I don't know why it's called Drain Wonderland. So what it is, it's you get one of each basic land. That's a snow covered of that basic. So I don't know what it has to do with Eldraine. Is Eldraine specifically snowy? I don't know much about the lore, but I didn't think Eldraine had much to do with snow covered basics because there's not snow covered basics in the set. But and the one thing that's special about these, because when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's kind of lame. Especially because like right now you can get snow covered basics from Modern Horizons at like about $1 each, maybe even less than $1. So I was like, oh well, this box seems like a really bad value given it's probably $30. But upside is if you watch all the YouTube videos they put out, they are all foil, so that's kind of cool. It's kind of odd, like kind of awkward still that you only get one of each basic, because in any given deck you're probably gonna have more than one basic, especially if you're playing snow basics, but I guess you can just slap snow basics in any deck. If your deck is only running 1 or 2 basics, then this is cool. If not, you're gonna have to try to, trade for more, buy more, etc., just to try to get enough to be able to play, in your competitive deck. Or I guess you can just have one of these lands in the deck, but that seems, again, kind of awkward. So that's the Drain Wonderland. And that was releasing on December 4th. All of these are only available for 24 hours. So the bundle is available first for the first 24 hours on December 2nd, starting at 9 a.m. until December 3rd at like 8:59. and then the same thing goes on, 24 hours for each one of these in succession. Third one is the Restless in Peace, comes out December 5th. Oh yeah, and notice at the bottom it is 9 a.m. Pacific time. So, for all of you viewers that are not on the West Coast, keep note of that. So then we get Golgari Thug, Life from the Loam, and Bloodghast. This one has no tokens. So you're not going to be getting any kind of avatar, but you do get one copy of each of these cards on MTGO. And then I'm assuming you get some sort of sleeve art for one of these cards on Arena. So here's the art a little closer up. Get like a nice green fading into the pink. And these are all dredge cards. So what's cool about this is that all of these cards are played in dredge, which I really like. So you're not just going to have like one of these weird art cards in your deck. You can buy like a playset of this and have 4 of these Life from the Loams in your dredge deck, 4 of these Bloodghast in your dredge deck, and probably 1 or 2 Golgari Thugs in your dredge deck. Usually they don't play 4, but you get the idea that you can kind of like have this whole set in your dredge deck and not just have like one of the cards in your dredge deck. Whereas, because like some of these sets, you're not going to be playing all of the cards in the bundle in one deck. They just don't work very well. But in this case, all 3 of these cards are played in dredge. And I mean, Life from the Loam and Bloodghast are played in other kind of decks as well. But all 3 of these cards are played in dredge. So if you want to pimp out your dredge deck, you can totally buy like a playset of these cards, which is super awesome. Next we have Seeing Visions, which is interesting. All 4 cards, notice, are Serum Visions. This comes out December 6th. And here are the arts, a little higher resolution. So I think it's kind of cool that they're all different. I know some people really hate mismatching arts, and they it's absolutely the worst if you have 2 different arts or something of a card in your deck. I don't mind it, but it's kind of cool that they're all 4 different ones. But if you want to have 4 of the same art in your deck, note that you're going to have to either buy 4 of this product, which I didn't look into. I'm not sure if you actually can. Sometimes they limit it to 1 per person, but you could always trade for them, or go in and buy it with a different card or like a different name or something. I'm sure you could get 4 if you wanted to, and they might just let you buy 4. I'm not really sure how this works. But for those of you that don't like to have different arts for your cards, unfortunately you would have to buy 4 or find people to trade them from. But I mean, I don't mind just having 4. They're all promo, all unique. And what I like about this is that you just get a playset right away. You don't have to buy 4 of them necessarily to get a playset of cool Serum Visions. It just comes with a playset of Serum Visions. And so you're only going to get these promos for this 24-hour window. So they're going to be very exclusive. Like, these are going to be the coolest, the most pimped out Serum Visions you can have. And you just get them. You get all 4, a full playset for any of your blue decks right away, which I think is super cool. So next up we have explosion sounds. I'm not going to try and make an explosion sound. That I'm just going to get made fun of for that. Unfortunately, I don't actually have a better image for this one. This one was revealed by Pleasant Kenobi, so I actually have to hate on Pleasant Kenobi right now, because he didn't put up like any kind of scanned version of the cards or anything like that. He was kind of just holding them in his hands, and so there wasn't really much of a better shot of these cards. So unfortunately, I can't get like a real great zoomed in, but I can talk about them. Also, go watch the videos. I'll try to link all of the videos below that were all the spoilers of these. There was one by like Command Zone. There was one by Crim, which is Asian Avenger, by PK. There was, so yeah, five or six different people leaking the different, not leaking, revealing the different secret layer drop series of boxes. So the first one in this pack is Goblin Bushwhacker. You see in the far left, and he actually has like he's like Rambo. He's got like a red bandana on. He's looking pretty buff, honestly. Next, you have Goblin Sharpshooter, which so Goblin Bushwhacker is played in like modern 8-whack, not really played in Vile Goblins, but it is seen in 8-whack in some like modern decks. It's a great budget deck to get into modern with. So I mean, it's a really strong card. Next, you have Goblin Sharpshooter, which is not seen in modern. I don't even think it's legal in modern. but it is seen sometimes in Legacy Goblins as like a tutorable card off of Goblin Matron. Next one, you have Goblin King, and obviously these are all reprint cards, so if you know the originals, you don't have to try to find these cards and reread them. Goblin King is also the art we see in the background. It just, to me, it's just hilarious. All the flavor texts are relatively funny as well. So that's how common a goblin should be, as Post Kenobi was talking about if you've watched his video. But Goblin King is the middle one. Right next to that, it's kind of, you can't see the name, but it's Goblin Lackey. Goblin Lackey is a staple in Legacy goblins. Unfortunately, not illegal in Modern. Wizards, please put it in Modern. I would love to have that card in Modern. I want goblins to be great in Modern, just like it's a playable deck in Legacy. And the final one, that big brute over there, is Goblin Pile Driver, and which is good in a couple. You know, you play a couple of them in Vile Goblins, and you probably play a good amount of them in Bushwhacker Goblins. And I don't know how much play it sees in Legacy Goblins. Maybe like a 1 or maybe 2 of, but anyway, these are all goblins that do see some amount of play across formats. And you can't really tell from the way the cards are laid out right here, but the arts actually do line up. So if you were to line the cards all up in the order they're in, like side by side, all the arts kind of like make one big panoramic photo, which is kind of cool. All right, next one. Oh, that one drops on the 7th of December. Next one is the Kaleidoscope Killer, dropping on the 8th of December. And it's just got 3 cards, pretty much 3 commanders, more or less. So you have Reaper King, which is like a Scarecrow commander. It's like the most famous Scarecrow commander. I don't know if there really is another one. You have Sliver Overlord, which obviously is Sliver Commander. The new Sliver from Modern Horizons, the Cascade one, yeah, I don't know the name of it, is somewhat taking over, but I imagine Sliver Overlord is still the most competitive Sliver Commander, just given the fact that you can just tutor. You can tutor out slivers, and then, you know, if you have cards like I believe it's Amoeboid Changeling, you can like turn your opponent's things into slivers and then steal those with its second ability. So Sliver Overlord is, I think, still the most competitive Sliver Commander. I don't really play Commanders, so don't quote me on that. And then the last one is the Dragon, which is a Dragon Commander. Makes your dragons cheaper, and, you know, gives you cards and, you know, blah blah blah. Dragon Commander. So basically, these are all Dragon Commanders. Not, wait a second. Scratch that. They're all commanders for the respective tribes. It's probably my least favorite of the drop series, only because I don't play commanders, so these cards are probably going to be ones I'm trading away. I do plan on buying, I think, the whole drop series. It seems like it's not a bad deal. It's like, I think, $130. You get all these cards, but they're only available, like I said, for 24 hours for each of these things. So they're going to be super exclusive. Although you can buy, you know, as many people that want to buy it can buy it, supposedly, they're still going to be super exclusive. Like, if you think about it, if you only started playing Magic earlier this year, you might not even hear about this yet. And then, you know, 5 years down the road, you're like, oh, well, that art's really cool. How do I get it? And it's like, well, you can only get it off the second market now, and all the cards have spiked because you could only get them on a 24-hour period. And they're like, oh, well, you know, I just started playing Magic, or, you know, anything along those lines of where, like, you just happen to miss the 24-hour window. Well, that's the only time you're going to be able to get them on, like, the primary market. So after that, it's up to, you know, the people who actually did buy the product to determine, like, what they were willing to sell it at and set the price. So I think it's worth it to buy these cards. But, you know, if you only want one of them, that's totally understandable. And, you know, you're probably still getting some value out of that as well. And here's all the cards closer up. Kind of forgot to go to this page, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, Reaper King, the Dragon, Sliver Overlord. Again, if you want to see these things closer up, or you want to spend more time looking at these, just pause the video. Yeah. And then, obviously, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe. It's not that hard. It's free. And liking, commenting, YouTube algorithm loves that stuff. And yeah, have a good one, guys.